We'll try to get the numbers and the names of the midfield captains for you as the rest of the Patriots take the field and get ready for this game tonight. I can tell you, too, as you keep up with Robert Davis's stats on the season, that Robert comes in with just shy of 1,500 yards into this game with 2 games remaining in the season. We expect to see him a good bit, but probably early in tonight's contest. Wes Steed continues to heal the injury to his finger, better and better all along. However, you'll notice tonight as you watch the replay, it is still wrapped. And just a word on Dusty Smith. Dusty suffered an injury to an ankle tendon last week in the game out at McAdory. He's been working with Greg Penley all week. Coach Penley told me just before the game it's his goal to have Dusty at 100% by the time a playoff game rolls around, should that occur. And we certainly expect that it will. However, Dusty is dressed tonight, could take some snaps and see some action if indeed that was necessary. Fred, we really doubt that it will be. Well, they've tossed the coin. We're just about ready to get underway as Midfield is taking the field. So we'll pause for just a moment to let you hear from one of our sponsors. Be right back with the opening kickoff after this. You're watching Homewood Patriot Football.
South Trust Bank is pleased to support Homewood High School athletics and wishes the Patriot football team a winning season. Whether it's community service or quality service at one of our convenient offices, South Trust Bank is working harder for you.
Back to Waldrop Stadium. Again, our pleasure to be bringing you this rebroadcast of the Homewood Patriot football season, and what a season it's been so far. What a season we hope it's going to continue to be, Fred. It's a delight to be a part of this broadcast effort, brought to you on 2 cable channels, Channel 38 and Channel 10 in the Homewood area. As you look at the midfield players lining up, I believe number 5, Johnny Lamoro, is their kicker. And so as he tees it up, we'll tell you that, as usual, deep for the Patriots are Robert Davis in the center position, Elvin Skipper away from us, and Brian Greer on the near side. The Patriots will move from right to left, defend the south goal. Action underway on a crisp fall evening in Homewood, Alabama, as Lamoro puts his toe into it, and it comes down to Davis in the end zone for a touchback. The environment plays a part tonight, as I might imagine. It's rather crisp out there. I believe it's something around 51 degrees at game time, and the wind is brisk.
The wind is picking up. I'm watching the flag now, and it is standing straight out. A very strong wind blowing left to right on your screen. Also rain last night. On Thursday night, a good 2-3 hours of rain, plus the cold makes the conditions very damp. So Coach Thorson and Coach Gann surely want his players to hold on to the ball and keep mistakes to a minimum.
First play from scrimmage as Alexander Adamson comes in motion to the near side. They'll focus on Davis early, and Robert will be dropped maybe with a loss of 2 or 3 yards. The tackle on the part of the midfield team by number 52, Greg Lanier. Lanier playing at a defensive tackle position. That's what most schools do right out of the chute. They look at number 30 in the backfield and they watch the tailback to see what develops.
They start with those linebackers keying on Davis, sometimes 1, 2, sometimes 3, keying on Robert Davis, but Davis being such a strong runner, he just gets stronger as the game goes on, and eventually they have to put their defensive effort somewhere else.
Here's Steed on the option.
Play on Wes Steed.
Wes on the option. He used it so effectively against McAdory last week. It's a wrinkle that a lot of schools don't count on, but in this case, they haven't been watching the films because West used it to perfection last week, and he does that again around right tackle for big yardage. Call it about a 30-yard run from his own 18 to now just shy of the 50-yard line. Big first down yardage and sudden quick offensive strike by the Patriots. After the gain of 32 now, 1st and 10, Steed looks with receivers wide left and right. Backs in the split back position. Here's the pass to Andrew Jeske out to the right. Andrew Jeske still on his feet, moving 35, 32-yard line, and probably run out of bounds down there by midfield's number 44, Dietrich Alexander, playing at the linebacker position.
That time,
Chains will move again.
That time Willie Files, the cornerback, covering Michael Andrzejewski, falling down as he's making the break to stop the pass play. Andrzejewski able to take advantage of that, pick up extra yardage.
Another first down as they move and set the chains again. The clock now getting ready to start. If you're just joining us, we're still early in the first quarter. As again, they focus on Robert Davis. He scrambles for a few extra yards. Robert knows exactly when that knee is down and when it's not, and those legs don't stop pumping until he's flat down. Anthony Baldwin that time, among others, on the tackle for Midfield. I keep wanting to say for the Patriots, but they're the Patriots and we're the Patriots, and I want to make sure I say Midfield every time.
Well, you can say the Patriots. You say their Patriots and our Patriots.
Those Patriots and these Patriots, right?
They're a good example of Robert Davis's balance and also the strength, able to catch himself on one arm as he was going down, pick up an extra couple of yards.
Steve fakes the short pass, pressured in the back, and dropped back at the 41-yard line by Delmas Black. Black, the big linebacker for Midfield. So that's a loss.
Midfield coming in here and giving up nothing so far in this game. Delmas Black blitzing on the play, taking Wes Steed down for a big loss. You saw on one of the previous plays, if Midfield concentrates too much on Robert Davis, Wes Steed can hurt them. But on third down or on a passing situation such as that, the Midfield coach is feeling nothing to lose, and they shoot Delmas Black through the gap, and he catches Wes Steed for a big loss.
Okay, looks like about 3rd and 15 now. A big first third down for the Patriots. Andrew Jeske in motion to the far side. Steve makes the call. He'll drop back and look. Pressured, rolling right. He'll keep it, tuck it in, and West goes down at about the 37-yard line, so it'll bring up a 4th down situation for the Patriots. We'll have to see what they decide to do with it. The first time, really, that I can remember in a long time that we faced an obvious field goal type situation.
That's right. Give Midfield credit on that play. That's a coverage type play. No one to throw it to. West pulled the ball down, tried to pick up what yardage he could. Actually, I believe he gained about 6 yards on that play, and then took the bailed out before the defense closed in on him. But just a good coverage play by Midfield. And
well, with the line of scrimmage about the 36-yard line now, Steed is in punt formation. We'll see if we can get the deep back.
We ran into a situation like this in Oxford earlier this year. We wonder if he's going to kick it now or is he going to use the pass play again.
Flags are flying. Whistles are blowing. We'll have to see what we can find out for you.
In case you weren't in Oxford earlier this year, we were in a situation similar to this. Wes Steed, instead of punting the ball, simply threw it long and high, and Homewood got a first down out of it, out of what turned out to be a pass interference call.
I believe we have a delay of game call, which takes it back another 5 yards, and that makes the line of scrimmage now the Midfield 42, and Steed in punt formation. He'll stand at his own 44-yard line. One interesting note from the sideline statistician, Danny Callies, this is the only opening series so far this year that we have not scored. Pressured, but the punt is away. It'll bounce inside the 15 and come to rest right on the 11-yard line. So Midfield backed up in poor field position, and that's a good aspect of the kicking game for us. We start with them in poor field position.
Well, as you said earlier, Dusty Smith not in on the opening series. Paul Owen in place, calling the signals tonight for the Patriots. Coach Thorson wants to come out and take command of this game from the start, the line of scrimmage, and using his linebackers. I don't know what he's expecting from this Midfield offense. Obviously, at 1-7, they're not the most potent team in the county, but they can score.
All right, here's J.J. Hardy right up the middle. The first man through looked like he slipped down. Ball doesn't advance beyond the 11-yard line. Baldwin was the ball carrier that time. He runs in the tailback position, wearing number 3 for the Midfield Patriots. Again, the fullback is number 20, Willie Pham. The quarterback is 12, J.J. Hardy. They run Jason Cargile in a flanker position. But I think for the moment it's going to be bread and butter. Midfield see if they can move on this Homewood defense. Here's the fake and the keep. Hardy around right end. Moves with the ease up to about the 25-yard line, where he's finally run out of bounds by Brian Greer and Michael Coggin. But the chains move on the far side of the field as Midfield gets a first down.
J.J. Hardy, a very mobile quarterback, very quick. Coach Crenshaw, Bill Crenshaw, in his first year at Midfield, very high on J.J. Hardy, taking the place of Jerome Stark, last year's star quarterback. You see some of the crowd.
Some of the Homewood faithful who came with winter coats to this ball game tonight. Here's first down now as flags are flying. We'll have to see who moved, but I believe it may be an illegal procedure penalty against Midfield.
This is old Brad Newman from his tackle position, leaving just a count or two ahead of the snap. Lee Thompson that time either, I believe, bluffing the blitz, but that was enough to get Newman moving. One aspect of this first series on defense for Homewood, Eric Rebel's on the bench right now with a trainer looking at his leg or his ankle, possibly. Kip Cowan in replacing him so far for Coach Thorson.
We'll see if we can get it there right on the bench in front of us. We'll see if we can get a shot of that and, more importantly, word on what might be the situation. So Midfield now with 1st and 15. Hardy looks to throw right in the middle into and out of the hands of Cowan. Kip Cowan was in his linebacker position, and it just absolutely came right at him. So on the incomplete pass, that'll bring up 2nd and 15 now. There's Rebels on the sideline. Greg Pendley looking at him, rubbing a little something on, looks like his left knee.
Looks like he might have gotten a stinger on the knee or something. He came off, jogging off, just a slight limp visible as he came off the field, and looks like Coach Pendley's working on that there on the sidelines.
My guess is it'll have to be a lot to keep him out. The quick pass from Hardy out to, was it Cargile, the flanker? I believe it was. No, it was out to Anthony Baldwin. So that'll bring up 3rd now and 15 after the incomplete pass.
Midfield trying to set up the flanker screen, had Jeremy Moore out with the pass to Baldwin. Moore in position to make a block if the pass was caught. Unfortunately, a poor pass by J.J. Hardy.
You could, if you had the blanket concession at Waldrop Stadium tonight, you'd be a rich man, right?
Yeah, but it is a packed house, at least on the Homewood side.
It is indeed.
Unusual in that the weather has turned as quickly as it has. On Wednesday of this week, temperatures in the mid to upper 70s.
A illegal procedure again, the call against Midfield, and that backs it up again. This should make it 3rd and 20 now. Midfield already with 2 penalties, both illegal procedure penalties, for a total of 10 yards on the night. Homewood with 1 penalty for 5 yards. Midfield striking early with that quick first down on the keeper by quarterback J.J. Hardy. Now this a critical 3rd down and 20 for Midfield. Hardy wants to roll out left. He pitches. That's the pitch to Baldwin, and Baldwin slips down. You know, it's worth mentioning, Fred, folks are watching this on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday night may have forgotten, but it rained all night last night here in Homewood, and in fact rained into the morning this morning. The field is very, very wet. It's soaked up a lot of water, and it drains very well, but it's still wet. And with the cool temperatures tonight, the dew is obviously set, and we've already seen 2 or 3 folks slip down.
I believe this is the first time this season we've played under these conditions with a wet field to this extent. We've played in some drizzle, but nothing of this kind this season, and it's probably good practice for Homewood anyway.
Here's Lamoro to kick.
In the playoffs.
Lamoro to kick for Midfield. It's going to come down to Davis on the far sideline. Davis takes it in right on his 39-yard line, and he'll move this way as he sees if he can get the wall set up. He does get the wall set up. He's got 1 man to beat on the block. Good block. Good block by Brian Greer. Just absolutely took the boy out. If Johnny Lamoro, the kicker, gets up from that, it'll be a miracle. But we do have a touchdown, and so Homewood gets the first 6 on the board. We'll see if we've got that one on instant replay.
Lamoro out kicking his coverage into the right side, and the wall was set up before Robert Davis ever made it to midfield. There you see the catch, and at this point the wall is set up. Not a midfield man in sight. He beats one around the corner, and he's off to the races. 1 man to beat, as you say, Lamoro, and watch sometimes what happens to a kicker. See Davis going in.
Robert Davis, a 60-yard scamper on a punt return for a score. Wes Steed to kick it. Brian Greer holds it. There is a penalty flag on the point after attempt, and I'm not sure who it was that threw the block down there. Was it Brian Greer or was it Elvin Skipper?
It was Greer.
It was Skipper, according to one of the spotters that we've got.
And Brian Greer had his attention, and Elvin Skipper was in position.
He just absolutely knocked his head off. Woo!
But give Lamoro credit. He hopped up as soon as the lights came back on.
He sure did.
Started off the field.
He's a tough little kid, I think, because he really took a hard shot right to the chin. The penalty was offsides against Midfield, half the distance to the goal. West will kick again. The ball spotted at about the 9-yard line. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 5:29 is the time remaining on our scoreboard in the first quarter here at Waldrop Stadium, and with timeout on the field, the score is Homewood 7 and Midfield nothing. A 47-yard punt by Johnny Lamoro from Midfield turned into a 69-yard return for a touchdown by Robert Davis, and one of really the hardest blocks I think I've seen in high school ball in a long, long time, thrown by Elvin Skipper.
Probably the thing that saved Lamar from serious injury was he never had a clue that it was coming, so he had no stiffness, there was no tensing, he went down so quickly.
One of the things that we'll remind you is that we will be bringing you a halftime performance tonight by the Homewood Patriot Marching Band. You see the Star Spangled Girls there, the Flag Corps, all the members of the band will be here, and we'll bring you that at halftime. Here's West Steed to kick it off. We get underway with the action here at about midway through the second quarter. It's it's Baldwin from Midfield, and he brings it up to about the 26-yard line, tackled by Kip Cowan. So Midfield will start now from their own 26 after the quick strike by Robert Davis.
Busey Davis talking to Steve Carpenter.
Before the game, they were taking some air out of his helmet. That's an inflatable helmet on the inside. It fit just to his head, and they were watching him take a little bit of the air out of it there. Mix up in the backfield, and there is a fumble. And a fumble again. We'll have to see who finally comes up with it.
It's a Midfield
The referee
ball.
indicates it does come down a Midfield ball.
Owen Leonard recovering that errant fumble. So I believe it was Shane Davis recovered it from Homewood initially, trying to run it, and then when he was about to be tackled, tried to lateral or a backward lateral of some kind, and number 54, Owen Leonard, comes
Down the 28-yard line. Here's J.J. Hardy. He keeps pressured in his own backfield, but the pitch is back, and Henry Walburn was right on the man. Also Eric Moulton now playing on defense. Eric wears number 43. Playing on defense. Skipper was in the backfield. Pham was the unfortunate man to take that pitch out from Hardy.
Homewood coaches playing some guys in different positions tonight, possibly to get a look at them. Looking down the road somewhat, Eric Moulton, good speed, good size, trying him at the linebacker position.
Well, after the loss of 4, the line of scrimmage now the 24-yard line. Hardy again being pressured in his own backfield, but to give to Willie Pham, and Pham does bring it out to about the 30-yard line. Stopped by Eugene Sharp and assisted on the tackle by Michael Coggin. Sorry to hear about Michael's brother's broken arm or dislocated elbow, I believe, today. He was in football practice up at the middle school, and Jordan Coggin got his elbow dislocated. We hope he's going to be all right. It brings up third down now. Third and looks like a long 8. So possession down for the Midfield Patriots with 2:54 remaining in the first quarter. Pham is the ball carrier again. It's out to the 35, but that won't be enough for first down yardage. Eugene Sharp again on the tackle. Sharp playing in that linebacker position.
Midfield trying to go with a few plays that are more quick hitting. They haven't had much success moving this Homewood defense, and they are rushing so hard right now. Homewood is trying to get to the quarterback. They're hitting with the quick hitters, the quick openers. A slant on the play before that one, and on that last play, a quick dive. Unfortunately, did not pick up the first down, and now, unfortunately for Midfield, they're forced to punt once again.
Lamoro back to punt. Davis and Greer are deep. This time it'll come down to Brian Greer, a whale of a punt. Brian takes it in on the 24, on the 16, and brings it out to about the 29-yard line, pursued by a host of Midfield tacklers, among them Jarris Holmes.
And there you see the first midfield Patriot off the field after that punt is Johnny Lamoro.
You know something, Lamoro made a definite move to kick that ball away from Robert Davis that time. I believe his coaches might have told him something about that.
He also made a definite move to make sure who was around him on the punt return. He was looking as he was running downfield to make sure nobody was near him.
He was checking for nearby trains, I think. A 45-yard punt, though, by Lamoro. He's got a good toe as the clock moves with 1:45 now remaining in the first period. Here's Robert Davis off right tackle. Out across the 35. They'll mark it probably at about the 36, tackled by Darius Coley. Now, I mentioned earlier in a Freudian slip the Homewood Middle School, but that's a good shot of the middle school Patriot Band. Those are the kids who will be populating the ranks of the high school Patriot Band in coming years. And Jeff Burnside does a fantastic job with those kids up at Homewood Middle School.
Will we see them at halftime also?
I'm not sure if we will or not. I think that they will be playing throughout the game. I'm not sure if we'll see them at halftime or not. But we might.
Eric Riebel's back on the field right now. His knee problem taken care of. He's in at right, or make that left guard.
Here's the pass to Greer. The little quick out. And Brian was off to the races.
That's the key to that play. Brian Greer getting better on that play every time he runs it. The key to that play, making that first defender miss. And Brian's been doing that all year long. As you saw in that play, first defender, Brian made the move, made it miss, and picked up good yardage after the miss.
He was finally brought down by Marcus Harris. But we've got timeout on the field. Is that right? Timeout midfield now with 51 seconds remaining. That's an interesting time to take a timeout. 51 seconds remaining in the quarter. Nothing really at stake. I guess midfield wanting to adjust perhaps.
They've done a fairly good job so far tonight defensing a Homewood offense that's averaging about 40 points a game. As you said, this is one of the few times this season this offense hasn't put any points on the board. The points coming so far from the kicking game. Robert Davis punt return for a touchdown. And midfield, surprisingly, is playing tough defensively, keeping Homewood off the board.
You know, one thing I was told by someone before the game to announce that it's very important to announce that the cheerleaders would like to really thank Coach Gann and the members of the Sports Association for the new uniforms that they're sporting tonight. These are brand new uniforms you're seeing there in the red, white, and blue Patriot motif. And they say thanks to Coach Gann and all the members of the Sports Association for those new uniforms. Good investment, right? Here's the give to Davis right up the middle, but he's met head-on by the center of the midfield defensive front. No yardage at all. The stop by Lanier, among others, for midfield.
Some of the guys were talking before the game. They were thankful for the new jerseys. And they were especially thankful that they weren't the thin mesh type.
On a night like tonight, we're hearing pretty consistently from the sidelines that the wind is a killer. Second now and 11 after the loss of one. Here's the give to Davis. He tries right tackle. Pursued. You know something? The midfield defense spread as the quarter winds down, and we won't go into too much of this, but they don't play like a team that's 1-7.
No, not at all. Several of their games have been very close, and they've been gaining a lot of experience in it, showing tonight they're playing good defensively.
That's the end of the first quarter. We'll pause now and let you hear from some of the folks who bring you this rebroadcast every week, our sponsors. As they change sides of the field, we'll remind you that after one quarter of play from here at Waldrop Stadium, it's Homewood 7 and Midfield nothing. You're watching Homewood Patriot football.
It's Piggly Wiggly Food Stores for quality foods, friendly service, and fair prices. You'll find a wide selection of the freshest seasonal produce brought in daily, and the finest heavy Western USDA choice beef, and of course, plump, fresh-cut chickens never frozen. And Piggly Wiggly serves hot, fresh deli foods of the finest quality served up daily. The next best thing to home cooking. And Piggly Wiggly Food Stores are proud of our friendly people serving your needs in Mountain Brook, Homewood. It's Piggly Wiggly, the finest food stores around.
Back to live action and back to the way we like to see the scoreboard read, with more points on our side than on the other side. The Patriots 7 and the Patriots 0 in this game against Midfield.
That's right. It only appears to be a matter of time before Robert Davis, Eric Moulton, Steve Greer, and the rest of the guys break loose. This midfield defense, give them credit. They are putting up quite a fight. Homewood, though, with quite a few weapons that they haven't even used yet.
Steed on the keeper around right end. The fake was to Moulton, the first man through, and then he keeps it around down to about the 31-yard line. That will bring up a 4th and about 3, a long 2 or 3. So a 4th down decision to be made by the coaches here as West looks to the sideline to get the play, and he's got it in. We would think that we might be too close for a punt, and indeed we'll go for it. And the 4th and a long 2, the line of scrimmage now, the midfield 32. We're just starting the second quarter here. West takes, pitches to Davis. Good blocking, big hole. Robert around left end. He's moving. 2 men to beat. Dances past 1. Run out of bounds. Finally, looks like it's inside the 5-yard line. Hard to see at this angle, but wow, what a call on 4th down. Finally run out of bounds by Corey Croster, the defensive back from midfield, but not before big yardage, big first down, and now it's 1st and goal.
Coach Gann just simply making a statement there. Watch the replay, the toss to Davis. Eric Moulton turns his man around. A shield block by Michael Andrzejewski, and Davis only tackled by number 18. Corey Croster saves the touchdown.
All right, here's Homewood now. Line of scrimmage is to 3. Steed will give to, will keep. Thought he gave him to the first man through, but he keeps him at maybe a yard on that. I think they just want to push it in here.
As I was saying before, Coach Gann just making a statement. 4th and short yardage. In the past, he might have tried any one of a number of weapons, Moulton, Greer, Steed on the option, but he simply went to the guy, Robert Davis, that gets it done for you week after week, and that's a statement saying, hey, we're going to go to the best guy, get the first down, and get
Here's 2nd and goal now. Steed on a pitch to Davis. Davis works his way into the end zone, and the signal is a Homewood touchdown. So with 9:59 remaining, you put another 6 up on the board. That'll make it 13-0 with the point after attempt coming.
Watch the replay. Davis, as he shoots down the line of scrimmage looking for the opening, Moulton out blocking, he simply cuts in the first available opening. Another touchdown for Homewood. Robert Davis having a good night, and so is Eric Moulton in that offensive unit, putting some blocks on the midfield Patriots.
Robert Davis with a 3-yard scamper for his 2nd score of the night. West Steed will attempt the extra point. Ryan Greer will hold it. Eric Rebels snaps it back. And the point after attempt is good. So with timeout on the field, 9:59 remaining in the first half, Homewood takes a 14-0 lead over the midfield Patriots. You know, we ought to also, while they are setting up for the kickoff, we ought to also congratulate the 9th grade football team at the high school. They finished the season 6-1 overall, Fred. They are 5-0 in the Metro Conference, and they win what's known as the Metro or the Over the Mountain title. This is the first time Homewood has won that 9th grade Metro, and they have an absolutely great year.
It seems to be a good year all the way around for Homewood teams. I saw in the paper this week where the volleyball team just continues to win and win and win, and actually got a write-up larger than some of the area schools got. So that volleyball team is doing nothing but winning.
As West Steed gets set to kick off, deep for midfield, and it'll come down deep. It'll come down almost out of the end zone. Anthony Baldwin for midfield had absolutely no chance at that one. I don't see any flags on the field, so that means they'll bring it out to the 20. And as we've said almost every week during these Homewood Patriot rebroadcasts, when you got Steve putting his toe into it, the ball is generally going to go down across the goal line with no threat of run back. And that's a very effective part of their kicking game.
It's a big weapon. You know your man can put it in the end zone. You can afford to play younger people on the kickoff team and save the more experienced guys and save the energy that goes into covering kicks.
First man through is number 20, and that's Willie Pham. Pham tries it at right tackle for maybe 2-3 yards at the most.
Shane Davis on the bottom of that pile, stacking things up on Willie Pham that time. Midfield seemingly content to try to just wedge the ball up the middle. They haven't had a lot of success around the ends. I believe Homewood is much quicker, a much faster defense than midfield's Patriot offense. And they haven't had a lot of success with J.J. Hardy throwing the ball. They've been most successful so far with the quick hitters, and they've gained 3-4 yards with those plays.
Pham again, right up the middle. hard yardage, hard going up there, but he gets it up to about the 29, maybe close to the 30-yard line. Almost first down yardage for Midfield as they try to mount a drive here with 9:12, 9:11 now remaining in the second quarter. You know, you mentioned the volleyball team. The girls volleyball team at the high school now is Area 9 champion. They are now at what's called sub-state, I believe, competition level.
That's right. When you get to sub-state, the competition and the experience gets better faster. In area or the county volleyball, as we see a timeout on the field, an official timeout.
I believe it's timeout for Midfield. At least that's what I think he signaled was timeout Midfield, and that would, if that's the case, that would be their second
This is to measure the game.
Oh, okay, an official timeout.
We were talking volleyball. The county volleyball is a very good quality, but when you go sub-state and then you start playing teams from Huntsville, Montgomery, Mobile, around the state, the quality becomes outstanding in a hurry. And if you've won a state championship in volleyball, then you've really had an accomplishment. It's just a fourth.
Who is that snowman up on the scaffolding there? That's Mr. Wes Gray, one of our cameramen, and he, along with Jack Munger and Dave Rothoff, do a fabulous job for us, no matter what the weather. They're out there working to get us the quality shots that we do. And we say this almost every week, but it's really important to note these are volunteer dads mostly who are up here doing this. And as you look at a shot of Robert Davis over on the sideline, we've got one heck of a broadcast crew. Fred and I just do the talking.
We do the easy part.
That's the easy part. You're absolutely right. Looked like Hardy tried to keep it that time to just muscle it across with third and a foot, and they should have plenty. It's out well across the 30 to about the 31-yard line. Well, it's just across the 30, but plenty for the first down. On that last drive, important to note that Homewood fell back into some of its typical routine. 7 plays, covering 71 yards, 4 minutes off the clock. That sounds more like the offense that we've come to know and love this year.
Outstanding offense. 40 points a game so far, and so many weapons.
Hardy wants to keep around right in. Really going nowhere. Midfield trying to just grind it out.
Michael Coggin in on that tackle. That time, Midfield just really no success so far. Michael Coggin, Shane Davis having a good night. Lee Thompson right there in the middle along with Eric Rebels. Paul Owen tonight playing for the injured Dusty Smith, playing a good game.
All right, second and about 8 now for Midfield, giving to the second man through. That's Anthony Baldwin. The Baldwin meeting head up with the Homewood defensive front. He goes for maybe a yard. They'll mark it at about the 34. You know, Fred, it's important to note we were congratulating that ninth grade team. That ninth grade team had a lot of team spirit, a lot of togetherness, but they also had some coaches who did the job. Coach Bobby Statham, Russ Martin, Coach Young, Coach Thorson, who comes from the high school over to work with the defense on that ninth grade team. They're the ones who pulled that team together, and they really did have a fine showing. And what that means is that as long as they let us continue to do this job, we'll have those guys to talk about in another couple of years, and that's fun.
6-1 improves to a 10-game season, and more good times for Homewood down the road.
Hardy's pass goes incomplete. The intended receiver, Jeremy Moore, I believe Brian Greer was defending. Alexander Adamson, perhaps, was defending. Grabbed him right as it came through, and that will bring up fourth down and about 6 for in punt formation.
This time Brian Greer back deep along with Michael Andrzejewski. Robert Davis sitting this one out on the sideline.
Lamoro, almost blocked. Our guys are going to just let it roll as it comes to rest at about looks like about our own 36-yard line. So we've got good field position with 6:58 now remaining still to play in the second half, in the second quarter.
And number 22, Martell Smith, coming into the Homewood backfield. It looks as though Robert Davis is going to sit out this series of offensive plays. Seeing him on the sidelines there, working. Looks as though he might have a muscle tightening up or something, possibly a cramp. Coach Pender's working with him there on the sidelines. Martell Smith in his place.
All right, Homewood works now from its own 36. Here's Steed's pass to Adamson, complete at the 41-yard line. Zan moves it on up and gets another 5 yards after the completed pass. Just a little rollout, defended by Corey Croster. But that should be good for first down yardage, and indeed they do move the chains. I want to mention the Midfield's offense just not clicking at this point, Fred. 0 for 3 in the passing department, 12 rushing attempts for only 35 yards so far. First quarter stats not looking strong their way.
Whatever problem Robert Davis was having on the sideline seems to be taken care of. He's in the backfield now for Homewood along with Eric Moulton, Wes Steed.
All right, line of scrimmage, the 47. Wes wants to give to the first man through, Eric Moulton. Eric takes it out to about the, almost to midfield, almost at the midfield stripe. Hard to see who got him for midfield, but it looked like Delmas Black among others. He just bulled his way right up through the middle of the line, and Black plays in that middle position.
And that is a tough way to make some yardage against the midfield defense. Delmas Black, one of the better athletes on the midfield Patriot team, along with his other linebacking cohorts for the Patriots. That would be number 33, Chris Sweet, and Darius Coley.
Here's Steed rolling out, dropped in his own backfield. Excellent penetration by Delmas Black from midfield. He just had Wes almost as soon as Wes got his hands on the football.
Very quick defensive player, Delmas Black. He has good size also, 6'3", about 195, and very quick for an end.
Well, he's managing to find his way through, I guess, the guard tackle position.
He's playing very low, playing with his hands also. He's not locking up with Jonathan Hammaker and the offensive lineman in there at the time, Stanley Lee on that side, not locking up shoulder pad to shoulder pad and playing with his hands and quick enough to come off the blocks.
All right, Steed now rolls out, wants to throw, pursued by Delmas Black again, but it's complete to Andrew Jeske at about the 45-yard line. We'll have to see where they mark it to see how close it might be to first down yardage, but I think it may be shy.
It's going to be shy by about a yard, Barry. It looks as though on that play, Reggie Boley coming up making a stop on Andrew Jeske, just a yard or so shy of the first down. A good hard hit by Boley keeps the Patriots, the Homewood Patriots, from picking up their first down.
All right, 4th and 1 now. The ball at the 44-yard line. We'll see what Homewood wants to do with it. They're going to go for it. Steed 4 for 4 in the passing department, but this one looks like it might be a running play. Here's the give to Moulton. No, the pitch to Davis around left end. Robert has his first down and out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. Wes is so tight on that handoff, and then the keep, and then the pitch. It's hard for us to see it up here, and of course they're playing on the far side of the field from us. He faked to Moulton, the first man through, tucks it under, pitches to Davis.
He has become so skilled. Watch the replay as he fakes. You see Brian Greer coming in motion, something else to think about. The fake to Moulton and the pitch. And it's such a good pitch because it's quick. It doesn't float. It's not a floater. It goes straight out to Davis, and he's got his first down.
Okay, the line of scrimmage now, just inside the midfield 40-yard line. Give you the clock time. It's 4:07, stopped on the out-of-bounds play. 4:07 remaining in the half. Steed faking to Davis, rolling right, wants to throw, looks long, tucks it in. Still on his feet at the 30, across the 25, down to about the 21-yard line. Good yardage by the senior quarterback, Wes Steed. His deep route was covered. Was that Alexander Adamson, I believe, was the deep route. Greer was the short route on this side. Both covered. Wes tucks it in and gains big yardage. Finally brought down by Reggie Boley.
There you see the opening. Steed taking advantage of it, moving it upfield for a big gain. As you said, Alexander Adamson covered by midfield, and Steed turning what would be an incomplete pass into a big gain and a first down. And it looks as though we've got a timeout by midfield again to try and realign this defense.
Midfield probably wants to shore things up with 3:49 remaining in the half. The score 14-0. It would be costly for them if they took another hit right now. They want to try and keep Homewood out of the end zone. We of course have other opinions.
One more would be.
We're entitled to that, right?
That's right.
That's why we call this home.
With midfield's situation, their offense is not explosive. They can score from far away. Their offense is not as fast as Homewood's defense, and they would be in dire straits.
I'll tell you what, while there's timeout on the field, we're going to stop for just a second, let you hear from one of our sponsors, and we'll be back after this, and remind you you're watching Homewood Patriot football.
There are some important things I want to teach my son. Like common courtesy, saying thank you. If Keith sees me treat people with respect, hopefully he'll believe that's just the way you're supposed to be.
Here's to Lisa Dawkins, M. South Banker, who believes quality banking means remembering customers' names. Smiley. and saying thank you. At AmSouth, you'll see it. Then you'll believe it.
Well, what you see there is the end of a magnificent Robert Davis run. Davis took it in at about the 20-yard line and took it all the way down to, maybe the one-yard line, just scampering around left end. And so Homewood, again, with first and goal now, plenty of time remaining, threatening to score on midfield. Wish we had it on instant replay, but you don't want to see that spot again, I don't think.
No.
So we'll show you this instead, what may be a score. Here's the Patriots, and West tries to take it across and does. Quarterback keeper by Mr. West Steed. Good for the score. 3:38 is the time remaining in the second quarter, and Homewood now out in front by a score of 20-0 over Midfield.
Midfield hanging in close in the first quarter, playing basically, as you see the replay there of West Steed, one of the few plays they haven't run very much this year, the quarterback sneak, because they haven't needed it very often, but successful there for the 20th Homewood point.
On the night, Robert Davis with 8 rushing attempts and 66 yards. West Steed, on the other hand, also with 8 rushing attempts and 65 yards. If that's not balanced offense, I don't know what is. Here's the point after by Steed. The kick is up and good. So 21-0 is the score now. And Homewood jumping out early on midfield. And one of the things that this bodes well for is a lot of playing time probably by some sophomores later in the game. And we can certainly use that.
Coach Gannon obviously would want to take some of his starters out as soon as possible with the finale coming up against John Carroll on Friday night. Homewood right now 21-0, looking at going into that game at 9-0 and possibly with their sights set on an undefeated regular season.
Well, we've got lots of stuff we can tell you about, and we'll do that as the game goes on. A lot of stuff going on at the high school, and I think you're going to get a treat at the halftime, too, to see some of the players that you've seen on the field all year. They're going to introduce themselves to you and let you take a look at what they look like without those helmets on. Here's the kick by West Steed. He'll put his toe really hard into it. It almost went out of the end zone before it hit the ground, but deep in the end zone, so they'll bring it out to the 20. And let midfield start from there. On the drive, Fred, Homewood had 8 plays covering 64 yards, took 3:21 off the clock, and of course the score on the West Steed 1 yard. We're going to try to keep you apprised of Homewood players as they move in and out of the game, because it's, like I said, we're going to have a lot of sophomores and juniors playing in this game later on, or we would think we would. But right now, back to action. As J.J. Hardy tries to get something going from midfield, he pitches out to Willie Pham, but Pham was slammed at about the 21-yard line. They really pursued well on that one.
Midfield inside, and without a fullback threat, a defense as quick as Homewood will simply move to the corners and shut down that option as they did on that play. Willie Pham nowhere to go after the door was shut on J.J. Hardy before him. What
the midfield coaches realize all too well is that their team has not had field position so far in this game. I'll tell you an interesting stat in just a second as Hardy looks to keep around left end again, going nowhere, maybe the 21-yard line. But Fred, their field position in 4 possessions has been the 11-yard line to 26-yard line and twice on the 20. They've not been past the 35-yard line offensively so far tonight.
Definitely a field position game so far. Coach Thorson also knowing that the passing threat from midfield is almost negligible, and he's actually got 7, 8, and sometimes 9 men near the line of scrimmage. Their safety, you see on that play, Eugene Sharp moving around in his linebacker position, but there's 7 men within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Looks like a mix-up in the backfield on a 3rd down call by midfield. They bring the ball out to about the 23-yard line. But Homewood, in the person of Eric Rebels, is all over him. And so that brings up a punting situation with 2:07 now remaining in the half. 2:07 remaining in the half, and we want you to stay with us during the halftime. We'll be showing you our band, a great performance by the band, and this is the last home performance of the season for them, unless we are into the playoffs. Here's Johnny Lamoro's kick. We're going to get a penalty on that one, I'm afraid, because he got the kick away. Greer has it and crosses the 50 and run out of bounds with it at about the 46, but it will definitely come back. Lamoro was knocked flat on his back and
Hammered once again,
but he managed to get the kick away.
Looks as though Elvin Skipper once again put the hard hit on Lamoro during that kick. Elvin Skipper and Johnny Lamoro getting to be pretty good friends tonight.
Johnny's going to wake up sore in the morning, I'm afraid. Bless his heart. He took some hard licks so far tonight. Just as information, while they moved the ball forward on the personal foul roughing the kicker penalty, Midfield with 3 first downs, and I believe this is one of them, and Homewood with 8 first downs on the night so far. Midfield now with fairly good field position as they give to Willie Pham, the first man through, right up the middle, and it looks like stopped by, among others, Hammaker and Coggin. Paul Owen, sophomore, playing tonight on the right defensive end position in place of Dusty Smith, who is out with that tendon injury.
Coach, of course, would like to rest Dusty the entire game and possibly next week if necessary on Friday night against John Carroll.
Friday night against John Carroll, the final regular season game. And we'll play at Carroll Field, which is out by Baptist Medical Center, Montclair. Here's Hardy trying to get something going. He gives to Baldwin. Baldwin still moving, still struggling. Good effort by Anthony Baldwin for midfield. But he'll not get past about the 48-yard line.
Eugene Sharp and Paul Owen coming in to put the stop to Anthony Baldwin. Hard running by Baldwin, just nowhere to go, bringing up 3rd down for midfield.
3rd and 5 for midfield. 37 seconds is all that remains in the half. So they really got to get something cracking here.
This is all timeout probably by Homewood. Coach Thorson now talking to his defense. 37 seconds to go in the half. Not a bad time for a timeout with looks to be 3rd down.
3rd and about 5.
3rd and about 5. So possibly Homewood could force the Patriots of midfield into a punting situation. And we've already seen the confrontation between the two special teams. Homewood getting the better of it with a long Robert Davis punt return for a touchdown.
You know, it's interesting, too, while we're stopped for a minute. A lot of stuff going on at the high school that it's hard to stay plugged into if you're not over there every day. But, for instance, the drama and debate students and their parents are getting ready to host a Patriot Forensic Classic. It is the largest debate tournament in the state of Alabama, Fred, and we'll have students coming in from as far away as New York, Texas, and Florida for this forensic debate tournament at Homewood. It's quite an event for us to host. Well, here on 3rd and 5 now, midfield with a key possession play. They had a little movement in the backfield, but he set in time. J.J. Hardy wants to throw it, and he goes right across the middle. It's complete to Anthony Baldwin, and Baldwin's still on his feet with one man to get him. Midfield will strike last-minute blood. A touchdown for midfield with 26 seconds remaining. Give them credit for a well-executed pass.
Oh, my goodness. Who could expect that type of play from an offense which has just really pounded up the middle all night long and really been unsuccessful on the pass play? As they're getting ready for the extra point. Let's watch them kick the extra point. Maybe we'll have that one on a replay in just a moment. Just unbelievable.
26 seconds remaining in the first half of play from Waldrop Stadium, and Homewood now with a 21-7 lead over midfield. Look at it again, the 57-yard pass play.
J.J. Hardy dropping back, and it's simply a crossing pattern to number 3. That's number 3, Anthony Baldwin out of the backfield, and the big block comes from number 1, Jeremy Moore on Brian Greer. Unbelievable.
Give credit where credit's due. It was well executed, and these guys haven't given up.
No, they haven't, and it's just the one play in their repertoire that would work in that situation. And Homewood, of course, he was not covering Anthony Baldwin out of the backfield.
Baldwin on a quick hit. Hardy to Baldwin pass covering 57 yards, and Homewood set to receive, something they don't do very much this year. That capped an 80-yard drive, if you'll recall, on the kickoff. Midfield started at their own 20, and that 57-yard pass play capped a drive for them. So that gives them something to talk positively about in the locker room at the half.
And possibly also gives the midfield coaches something to think about, the way Homewood covered the backs out of the backfield. Not a very long pass, but very effective for the midfield Patriots. Patriots.
Johnny Lamoro puts his toe into it. He wants it low. He's got it low. Davis will pick it up at about the 14-yard line. As the clock runs, 20 seconds, 19 seconds now remaining. They'll stop it briefly to set the football. And not much remaining in this half, but the first string is in, and we want to see if we can get something going.
So time for two plays, possibly. Two pass plays or a Robert Davis run, some type of play. Enough for two.
The clock now moving, and the chain's been set. The line of scrimmage is the 31-yard line. Looks like we might get one play off. Steed looks it over. He will take the snap. Davis trips in the backfield. West rolls out. As the horn sounds, let's don't get anybody hurt. He just throws it away, and very wisely, I might add. So, that's the end of the first half of play. Stick with us now. An exciting halftime performance coming up and some interviews with the players. We'll let you see what they look like out of those uniforms. At the half, the score is Homewood 21 and Midfield 7. Hey, this one's not over yet, and we're coming right back. You're watching Homewood Patriot football.
This is the place where winners and losers are made. What does it take to be a winner? According to one well-known football coach, it begins with a great game plan, followed by excellent practice habits, and then the players must accept the game plan. In order to become a winner in life, we must accept God's game plan. We do that by accepting Jesus Christ as our Savior and Lord. I'm Gary Fenton, pastor of Dawson Memorial Baptist Church, inviting you to become a winner in life.
Union State Bank, established in 1903, is proud to be a part of the Homewood community. We invite you to visit our office, conveniently located at 3026 Independence Drive, next to Piggly Wiggly in Homewood. Union State Bank is a full-service bank dedicated to providing friendly, quality banking services to our customers. A drive-through automated teller machine is available 24 hours a day at our Homewood office for your convenience. Union State also offers service charge-free checking to all high school and college students. Union State Bank, the bank you can make friends with.
Gerald Gann, head football coach, Homewood High School, home of the Patriots. I'd like to introduce to you now our 1991 football team.
Henry Warburn, outside linebacker and quarterback, junior. I'm Kevin Miller. I'm a wideout, defensive back, and I'm a sophomore.
My name is Kevin Harris. I play defensive end and tight end, and I'm a senior.
My name is Michael Andrzejewski. I play wide receiver and defensive back, and I'm a junior.
My name is EJ Steele. I play split end and defensive back, and I'm a senior.
My name is Reggie Lyons. I play quarterback, free safety, and I'm a sophomore.
My name is Brian Gore. I'm a senior, play defensive back and wide receiver. My name is Scott Hazen. I'm a wide receiver, defensive back, and I'm a junior. Corky Alexander, I'm a quarterback, and I'm a sophomore. My name is Wes Steed. I play quarterback, and I'm a senior. My name is Jason Jones. I play wide receiver and defensive back, and also a senior. My name is Tanner Sabry, outside linebacker, senior.
My name is Martell Smith. I play tailback and defensive back. I'm a sophomore. My name is Alexander Adamson. I'm senior, cornerback, and wide receiver.
My name is Eugene Sharp. I'm outside linebacker and tailback, and I'm a junior.
My name is Robert Davis. I play tailback. I'm a senior.
My name is Darren Finley. I'm a fullback. I'm a senior. My name is Elvis Skipper. I'm a senior, and I play cornerback. Hi, my name is Curry Starks. Defensive back, sophomore. My name is Tommy Elias. I play fullback, and I'm a sophomore. My name is Aiden Sabry. I'm a sophomore. I play tailback and cornerback.
My name is Larry Moulton. I'm a fullback, and I'm a sophomore.
My name is Ryan Wharton. I'm a sophomore. Play tailback, outside linebacker.
My name is Lee Thompson. I'm a senior, and I play linebacker.
My name is Mark Shaw. I'm a senior, offensive guard, defensive end. My name is Dusty Smith. I'm a senior. I play striker.
My name is Jason Zarzer. I'm a junior, and I play center.
My name is Paul Rowan, and I play defensive end and center, and I'm a sophomore.
My name is Michael Coggin. I play defensive tackle, and I'm a junior.
My name is Stanley Lee. I'm a senior. I play offensive tackle and defensive tackle.
My name is Clay Keith. I play inside linebacker and guard, and I'm a sophomore.
My name is Carter Shanklin. I'm a sophomore, and I play offensive guard and defensive end.
Eric Rebels, offensive tackle, defensive linebacker, a senior.
My name is Brad Gerard. I play offensive guard and defensive end. I'm a sophomore. My name is Kip Cohn. I play offensive guard and linebacker. I'm a sophomore. My name is Daniel Presley. I'm offensive defensive tackle. I'm a junior. My name is Michael Naylor. I'm a junior and I play offensive and defensive tackle.
My name is Sean Shiplett. I play offensive guard and defensive tackle, and I'm a sophomore.
My name is Steve Carpenter. I'm a senior and I play offensive guard. I'm Adam Reeves. I play offensive and defensive tackle and I'm a senior. My name is Shane Davis. I'm a junior and I play defensive end. My name is John Wooden. I'm a sophomore. I play offensive tackle and defensive tackle. I'm Preston Wallace. I play offensive defensive tackle and I'm a sophomore. My name is Jonathan Hammaker. I play offensive guard and defensive tackle and I'm a senior. I'm Anthony Webby. I play outside linebacker and I'm a sophomore.
Hi, I'm Zach Kennett. I'm a sophomore and I'm a defensive back and offensive receiver.
My name is Joel Maxwell. I'm a receiver and a sophomore. My name is Eric Atkins. I play offensive and defensive tackle, and I'm a junior. My name is Brian Anderson. I'm a junior. I play tight end, defensive end. My name is Curtis Lewis. I'm a sophomore. Play safety and wide receiver.
Bob Newton, assistant coach, coach offensive line, defensive ends, offensive coordinator.
Coach Bobby Statham, head freshman football coach.
My name is Rip Harmon. I coach the wide receivers and the defensive backs.
I'm Greg Poonley, ATC, head athletic trainer at Homewood High School.
My name is David Jones. I coach quarterbacks on the offense, and I work with the linebackers on defense.
Hi, my name is Monica Tejada Harja, and I'm a student trainer, and I'm in 11th grade. Hi, my name is Faith Griffin. I'm a sophomore, and I'm a student trainer. Hi, my name is Beth Staples. I'm a freshman, and I'm a student trainer.
Coach Dorsey, defensive coach. That's it.
Think Buddy Wade. Auto, home, business, life, or health. No matter what your insurance needs may be, Buddy Wade is your local State Farm agent with the insurance experience you want. From his office at the corner of Palisades Boulevard and Columbiana Road, Buddy has served Homewood and surrounding areas for over 15 years. When you think insurance, think experience. Think Buddy Wade. Come by and visit his office or call 942-4444.
Tonight's music begins with the highlights from Disney's movie spectacular, The Rocketeer. Ladies and gentlemen, the Homewood Patriots marching band.
Morgan, Tina Chapman, Danielle Rousseau, Rich Koch, Richard DeShazo, Taylor Fitzgerald, Bill Forsey, Anita Jacobs, Matthew Lewis, Jeff Ryan, Chris Paulo, Blake Martin, Rich Overton, Elliot Pike, John Richburg, Jason Smith, Jacqueline Steve, Jeffrey Weinstein, Lisa Radney, Sean Brooks. Our seniors in the color guard are Kevin Brown, Justin Carr, Lee Cottrell, Kristen Drew, Stephanie Morton, John Jones, Nicole Lindsay, Melinda Mahon, and Leslie Ware. Our senior Star-Spangled Girls are Dana Bennett, Nikki Boyce, Elizabeth Gibson, Emily Etheridge, Nikki Harrell, Jill Harwell, Tammy Hewison, Catherine Moore, Amanda Ostrowski, Beth Shelburne, April Shores, and Leslie Whitten. Ladies and gentlemen, a hand for our seniors, 1991. Continuing now with the music of Michael Bolton, the Star-Spangled Girls, as love is a wonderful thing.
Back Anthony Baldwin. They'll bring it out to the 20-yard line, and we'll start from there. Homewood rushed the ball 16 times for 123 yards. Midfield 17 times for only 43 yards. Weststeed threw the ball 5 times, completed 4, no interceptions. Midfield 4 passes attempted, only 1 completed by J.J. Hardy, the quarterback. No interceptions there as well. Here's Midfield set to go from their own 20-yard line. As we're just underway in the second half, they give it straight up the middle to Willie Pham, met head-on by Mr. Paul Owen, Shane Davis, Michael Coggin, Eric Rebels, and others in that Homewood defensive front. Loss of about a yard on the play.
Again, Midfield starts the second half just as they did the first, pounding the middle of that Homewood defensive line. Michael Coggin, Eric Rebels, and Lee Thompson, a tough trio to try and run against. Barry, as you were saying with the statistics, not very close statistically, but 21-7 on the scoreboard, and about the only way Midfield could score was if Lightning were to strike again.
Hardy wants to throw. He does, but it's incomplete. Looks like it might have been intended for Baldwin. Baldwin was the one who came out of the backfield on the 57-yard scoring pass play to end the first half.
That's right, simply a crossing pattern. Baldwin out of the backfield, cutting across the middle. Hardy was able to hit him with a pass, and a blocked by number 1 Jeremy Moore on Brian Greer, and 7 points for Midfield.
Midfield may have learned what our coaches have said from the sidelines, and that is that the ground is a problem. It's wet, it's slippery, and the running game is being hampered by that. We may see them more to the air. But in this particular situation, it's Willie Pham off left tackle up to about the 26 or 27-yard line. The fact is the field is very, very wet, and while Homewood has not needed to go to a passing game tonight except to mix up the offense a little bit, you might see Midfield doing a little of that.
Possibly. They very well could. If they hit the quick hitters, if they hit the quick patterns, they just will not have time for Hardy to stand back in the pocket, because Shane Davis, Michael Coggin, Greer, rest of the defensive squad will not give him the time to throw.
Here's Lamoro with a low snap from center. He's pursued, and I believe Eugene Sharp brings him down. He fumbled as he was going down, but Homewood will take over inside the 10-yard line.
Looks to be about the 8-yard line. Eugene Sharp running Lamoro out of bounds. Homewood in business now inside the 10-yard line. Watch the snap. No chance to get it off, and Lamoro doing basically what he's been instructed to do by the coaches, try and get out of bounds, and at least in this situation, forestall a touchdown.
Better than a blocked punt, really.
Yes.
They were coming for the block. I think Homewood thinks they can block a Lamoro punt before the night is over. They almost did it once. But now in business, inside the 10-yard line, string still in. Moulton the up back, Davis the setback. Robert Davis with the call, and he's right into the end zone. Man alive, 2 minutes haven't even gone off the clock in the second half, and Davis scores following the bad pass from center and the unsuccessful punting attempt by Midfield.
There you see the initial line blocking on the right side. Steve Carpenter pulling, Stanley Lee blocking down. Eric Moulton kicks out the defensive end. Robert Davis goes in from 8 yards out, untouched, 27-7 for Homewood.
Here's the extra point attempt. Wes Steed will attempt it. Greer holds it. A high snap from center. Steed gets it up, and the kick is good. 10:33 remaining in the third quarter. Just barely underway in the second half, and Homewood now out to a 28-7 lead over Midfield. My guess is there were some pretty sharp words exchanged in the locker room, in the Homewood locker room at the half.
Especially with that last play.
My thought is the coaches are going to say things like, or probably said things like, it's not time to give up on this game. Midfield's serious about this, and they're going to try and make a go of it.
Well, you need to really get into a mode where you're playing 60 minutes of football, regardless of who's out there. Lee Thompson and the first team, if they're out there playing hard for as long as they're there, and you see Jonathan Hammaker, Lee Thompson getting some instruction there. If it's the second team offense or defense, they need to play hard for the entire time they're in there. Coaches want to start building that 60-minute, or rather 48 minutes of football in high school for the entire time.
Out of the end zone that time, Anthony Baldwin, who drops back deep for Midfield, he didn't even try. He saw the ball go 10 feet over his head, and he's standing on the goal line.
On one of the previous plays, he had his hands inside his jersey sleeves to keep them warm, and on the kick, he never took them out. He knew it was going in.
He knew it was going there. Wes Steed has just done a magnificent job all season long on the kickoffs and extra points. Hasn't had an opportunity really to show what he can do, but he's also an excellent field goal kicker. Here's Midfield working from its own 20. On the reverse to Jarris Holmes, but he's only going to get about 2 yards before Eric Rebels brings him down. New numbers are going to be coming in, I'm sure, Fred, and we'll try to keep folks advised of the youngsters who come in to get some playing time tonight.
Henry Walburn in on the defensive unit. Jarris make that the tight end for Jarris Holmes on the tight end reverse. Just not enough time, not enough speed to get around the corner. Homewood there to snuff it out for a 2-yard gain.
Here's the give to Pham. He takes it across the 25, maybe to the 26. Stopped by Paul Owen and Eric Rebels. Oh, and again, playing a sophomore playing tonight in place of the injured Dusty Smith. Paul wears number 54 for the Patriots.
Tough inside play again on that play by Eric Rebels, Paul Holmes, and Lee Thompson, stopping that play by midfield for a short gain, bringing up third down.
All right, third and about a long four. Third and about 4. Hardy wants to throw across the middle, thrown extremely hard into and out of the hands of Jason Cargile. Greer was defending, but he really rifled the football. Maybe a little touch on that, and he might have had a completed pass.
Trying to force it in between 2 or 3 Homewood Patriots. Just fortunate that Eric Rebels didn't latch onto that one. Down on the midfield end of looks like the midfield 26-yard line. Eric holds on to it. He's got 6 more points for Homewood.
2 backs to receive the punt. Robert Davis on the near side, Brian Greer on the far side, Johnny Lamoro from midfield back. Looks like we may have the return on. Lamoro shanks it off the side of his foot. It'll go out of bounds, still in midfield territory. Looks like they'll mark it at about their own 41-yard line. So a poor effort that time on the part of Lamoro, who had done some good kicking in the past.
Up to that point,
he might have heard someone coming.
You gotta hurt for the guy. So far, he's had a punt return for a touchdown in which he was almost cut in 2 by a block by Elvin Skipper. On another one, he was roughed, knocked to the ground again by Elvin Skipper, and on 2 others didn't even get the punt off.
Only a 15-yard punt that time as Homewood works to give us to Davis across right tackle. He takes it from the 41 down to about the 37, the 38-yard line. Stopped on the play by Dietrich Alexander, a linebacker for midfield. What do you think Fred Midfield might have talked about during the half? Hey, guys, this one's possible?
If you're midfield, you've got to tell the guys, you got to keep telling them, keep their heads up, keep fighting. They're playing against one of the number 1 5A school in the state of Alabama. And last week, a USA Today nationally ranked team, I believe is number 22 in the country. So you're telling your guys you're down 2 touchdowns to these fellas. You can still play if you're midfield. A play here, a play there, they're back in it. And that's exactly what happened at halftime.
Okay, on the incomplete pass, brings up third and about 7 now for the Patriots of Homewood. Is that Coach Gann's son, Doug, in the white there? I believe it is. They're telling me in the truck that it is Doug Gann. Former Homewood player himself. Here's the give to Robert Davis. Left end is the call. Robert working for first down yardage. We'll see how they spot it, but I believe he got it. Doug Gann, the quarterback at UAB, on UAB's first ever football.
That's a name you'll see in trivia answers years to come. Who was the first starting quarterback for the UAB Blazers?
That's right. There's an interesting story that one of the papers picked up on. Doug, as he played for Homewood, had faced a young boy named Reneker, who was a quarterback at Mountain Brook, and later in college they faced each other as quarterbacks as well when UAB played its first game of the year. Here's the give to Eric Moulton, and it's still, this play's not over. Moulton just dragging the midfield team with him down the field. Gosh, I hope we have that one on instant replay. We have it on instant replay. Stand by for a second, folks, and you'll see one magnificent run by the sophomore fullback, Eric Moulton. First man through.
There's 1, 2, still going. Check the second hand on your Timex. He's still moving. Finally, number 7, number 18, and number 10 for midfield.
Good.
Finally.
Reggie Bowley, number 10 for midfield, says, I think I'll finally drag this guy down before he scores. Well, on the magnificent running of Moulton, another first down. Here's Davis working left tackle inside the 10-yard line, maybe to about the 6. Gosh, I don't believe I've seen harder straight-ahead running this year.
That's got to be the longest 8-yard gain in high school football this year. That play took about 12 seconds.
I know it.
See Robert Davis go 90 yards in less time.
Hey, new uniforms or not, the cheerleaders are wrapping up, as most of the folks in the stands are. It's a crisp evening. The wind chill factor must have it 20 degrees below what it really is out there, and it's probably 45, 50 degrees. Here the Homewood Patriots working from inside the 10-yard line. Davis is across the 5 now, close to the goal line. We'll have to see where they spot it. It's a little difficult to see it at this angle.
Still lots of hard hitting out there. Midfield still hitting hard defensively, down 28-7. Homewood right now just playing line up and run the football. Robert Davis, Eric Moulton, and Wes Steed just playing good, solid offense at this point.
Let's not forget the defensive performance of Delmas Black, the number 7 linebacker for Midfield. He, along with Dietrich Alexander, right in the middle there and continuing to slug it out. The line of scrimmage is now the 3. Greer in motion. But Steed wants to keep it. He'll score easily. Trots into the end zone on the quarterback option around. That's a simple little read play. All he's got to do is look at it and run with it. And Homewood scores again. 6:08 now is the time remaining in the third quarter.
Watch the motion man. Brian Greer coming to the right. Fake to Moulton. No one out there. The motion man took the player out of the play. Steed in from 2 yards out. Homewood up 34-7.
Yeah, we're going to have, after the extra point, we're going to have a chance to look one more time, Fred, at the run of the run of Moulton. He just really had the presence of mind to say, I don't care if there are 8 arms on me, I'm going to keep going. But first, flags are flying on this one. The indication is offside, perhaps against Midfield. That'd be the second time, and it is the call, so it goes the distance to the goal. Greer will hold it. Steed lines it up. It's a fake. West will throw it into Alexander Adamson. Just another little wrinkle. And the 2-point conversion is good. So, with timeout on the field, Homewood takes a 36-7 lead over the Midfield Patriots. One more little thing for future coaches who watch these game films to worry about, Fred.
To think about that, very talented Homewood offense. One of the improving players every week is Eric Moulton. There you see he takes a hit, he takes 3 or 4, continues to move his feet. All the coaches want their players to move their feet. And he gains 15 extra yards after being hit initially at the line of scrimmage.
Amazing second and even third effort running by the sophomore fullback, Eric Moulton. Man, it's going to be a pleasure to watch him develop in the years to come. He's got 2 more years of high school ball to play. Strong running. Here's the kick by Steed. West puts his toe into it. It comes down into and almost out of the end zone. Nearly had a field goal from back there. Wow.
Wes has gotten stronger since last year. We were watching him kick off. He was kicking off to the 3 and the 4-yard line, came back and worked over the summer and all fall. Now, the first of this year, he was actually putting the ball on the goal line, maybe a yard deep. Now, as the season is winding down, the 9th game tonight, he's putting the ball out of the end zone. Just outstanding kicking by Wes Steed.
Homewood, for the most part, with the starting defense still in. Flags are flying. Midfield will probably back up on a procedure call. That'll give them 1st and 15 from their own 15.
Motion penalties all night long hampered Midfield's offensive output, but their offensive linemen trying to at least be quick or trying to anticipate the snap count, their own snap count, trying to do something to combat this very quick defensive front. Homewood throws out.
Here now Midfield with 1st and 15. J.J. Hardy is the quarterback. He keeps around right in, pitches at the last second to Anthony Baldwin, and Baldwin's struggling to get back to the original line of scrimmage, pursued by just a whole host of Homewood tacklers, among them Michael Coggin and Elvin Skipper. Elvin's had a heck of a night.
He sure has, blocking and tackling. There you see an example of what Midfield's up against in the second half on the play and option, where it should be your running back against the defensive secondary man coming up to force. There were 4 Homewood Patriot defenders out there, Coggin, Elvin Skipper, Shane Davis out there to shut that play down. That's quickness on defense.
5:25, the clock moves in the third quarter. Homewood with a commanding 36-7 lead. On the reverse, is that Holmes again? No, it's not Holmes.
Jeremy Moore.
Moore on the reverse coming around, but Eric Riebel's not fooled.
Eric seeing that play from the start, Moore coming back toward the line of scrimmage, and Eric simply right up the middle of the field to shut it down for a loss.
Like I say, I wish I'd had the blanket concession out here. There are quilts and blankets aplenty in these metal stands here at Waldrop Stadium. A crisp November evening in Homewood, Alabama. Here's Hardy. Rolls to his right, keeping out across the 20-yard line. That'll bring up 4th and still 10. You know, on the Homewood scoring drive, it was 6 plays covering 41 yards. Steed with the 1-yard scamper on the option left around the end. Just seemingly an endless variety of plays to choose from.
Homewood has been running these same plays all season long, just in different combinations, and they've been successful for the most part on all of them. And this is one of those occasions where they're using them in combination, where they've been just incredibly successful. And there you see the booth where we do what we do.
Hi guys. It's awfully cold up here in the booth. It's about 87 degrees in here now, and I'm about to come out of this sweater in a minute here. Well, on the kick by Lamoro, good field position again for Homewood. We'll start from the midfield, almost the 47-yard line. The punt of only 26 yards. Lamoro, who started very strong with strong punting, has had the last couple ones 15 yards and 26 yards. So Homewood again with good field position. Steed wants to throw. He has Andrzejewski at the 43-yard line, still on his feet. Michael goes down to about the 35. We'll mark it right about the 35-yard line. Dietrich Alexander bringing him down, but first down yardage.
Again, Michael Andrzejewski doing just as Brian Greer does, catching that pass a short out and making the first man miss. The first man, number 16, Willie Files, out there. Number 18 out to assist him, Corey Croster, missing the tackle, and Andrzejewski able to pick up 6 extra yards.
Good second effort by Michael on that play. Here's first down for Homewood at the 35 of midfield. Davis, left tackle. Ooh, grabbed from behind as he went through by Greg Lanier, number 52 from midfield. Roberts found the running tough because what some of these teams will do, they can't defend very well against the options. As we look at a shot of Dave Rothoff up on the top level of the press box. And they don't have glass in the windows up there. It's a little cooler up there.
Dave is this week's lottery winner, so he does get to stay indoors.
He gets the indoor shot. But those teams are keying on Robert, and they make it tough for Robert coming out of the backfield.
Yes, they do.
Second and about 8. Robert still on his feet running, trying to find running room. Finally gets hit from behind to bring him down at about the 16-yard line. We're trying to give you his running statistics for the night. Going into that play, he had 94 yards. So that's easily over 100.
Watch the speed. He breaks through the line of scrimmage through good blocking, tries to go around the end, but the escape route was cut off there, cutting back. The pursuit caught up with him, but you can't stop Robert Davis all the time. At some point, he's going to break one, or he's going to use that speed or power and get either around the end or right up the middle, and it's only a matter of time before he does one or the other to you.
112 yards for Mr. Davis on the night. Wes Steed on a keeper around left end. Wes wants the goal line. Touchdown Homewood. He was not to be denied on that one. That's again that option left. It's a read. The quarterback reads. Depending on what the secondary does on the defense, he either keeps it or pitches.
Here's the play. Watch the left end. No one out there. Number 7 for midfield in pursuit. That's Delmas Black in pursuit of Wes Steed. Could not catch him, and Wes takes it all the way.
Davis, I don't even believe, was in on that play. I think Martell Smith was in the backfield. believe the first string's going to be coming out pretty quickly here. That's number 4, Kevin Miller, who kicks the extra point, and it is good. So we'll try to keep you up with the substitutions, but we can tell you right now, in the third quarter, 2:19 remaining, Homewood with a 43-7 lead over Midfield.
What started out as a slow night offensively for Homewood has picked up in the second quarter and has not diminished any in this third quarter. Homewood moving it well offensively and using field position to do it. I believe in this second half they've had field position worse than their own 45-yard line. The poor kicking of Lamoro has put Homewood in business 3 times.
Most of our first string, I believe, is sitting on the bench about now. Some of the guys are on the kickoff team. But Kevin Miller will kick off now. He's the sophomore place kicker and punter and kicker who will replace Wes Steed next year in the kicking department. Among the others who are out on the field tonight, we note Anthony Webby, who wears number 80 for the Patriots. We'll try to give you some other numbers as we go along. Mark Scholl is out. Here's Miller's kick. Comes down at about the 2 and rolls into the end zone. So Kevin, following in the footsteps of Steed as the sophomore, sends it into the end zone for a touchback.
Some of the Star Spangled girls, their show over for this regular season, watching from the sidelines, trying to stay warm as best they can. Another outstanding season for both the band and the Star Spangled girls, putting on outstanding shows here and at the away games.
There's a good shot of Robert on the sidelines. We note that Brad Gerard, number 65, is in the game for the Patriots. Midfield wants to get something cracking. Here's J.J. Hardy, but it's intercepted. Brian Greer takes it in at about the 30. He's got one man to beat. Give him 6. Touchdown, Homewood. Just really, really seasoned pass defense by Brian Greer. Clipped that ball right out of midair at about the 30-yard line and took it all the way in for the score. It was a 30-yard pass interception return. Watch it happen.
There's Hardy back to pass over the middle. What he'd hoped to be a replay of the touchdown in the first half, Brian Greer blocked out. And the first half's touchdown was not to be denied on that play, picking it off in full stride and going in for the touchdown.
Kevin Miller will attempt the extra point. Holding will be Joel Maxwell. Snap is back. Kevin puts it up in the air, and it is oh so good. Homewood cracks the half-century mark with 2:09 remaining. Can that be right? Is that right? It was 43. It was 42. That's right.
I believe this is the biggest offensive output Homewood's had this entire season, which is hard to believe. They've scored a lot of points this season, but this is the first time they've reached 50.
Midfield just has not had the opportunity to get anything going. Poor field position all night long. Homewood has, on the other hand, managed to come away with excellent field position. The last couple of possessions have been inside Midfield territory, even after a punt. So the celebration is on here at Waldrop Stadium, and the band and the fans and the cheerleaders and everybody trying to find some excuse to move around and keep warm out here on a cool night. Kevin Miller will kick it off for us. Kevin puts his toe into it. This one will come down at about the goal line. A touchback again. Anthony Baldwin has not been able to bring one out tonight. I don't believe they've run one back.
Run one back, start the second half.
All right, we'll try to spot some numbers here for you. I note in the game right now, number 21 is Tamer Sabry. Tamer will probably come in at the tailback position. Tommy Lias is in. We'll see who the quarterback will be, but we're on defense now, Barry. Probably have a new quarterback the next time we're on offense. Hardy gives to his first man through. That's Baldwin, and he's stopped by Darian Finley. Finley, wearing number 31, plays both ways, offense and defense. He'll sometimes show up at a fullback position as Brian Greer comes out of the game after a great night tonight. See who else we can spot in there. We told you Brad Gerard is in now. Martell Smith is in, playing at a corner. Andrew Jeske remains in the game at a free safety position. Here's the give to Pham. No, the fake was to Pham. The Hardy on the quarterback keeper that time.
Like number 70, Sean Shiplett, able to shut that play down.
Shiplett and Finley combining to make the stop on J.J. Hardy as he fakes to the first man through and then keeps around left end.
New people up front for Homewood, number 65, Brad Garrard, in at the right defensive end. We said Sean Shiplett in at right tackle, and number 78, Preston Wallace, in at the left tackle spot.
Hardy wants to keep pursuit in his own backfield. Grabbed by Tamer Sabry and finally brought down at about the 25-yard line by a host of Homewood tacklers. Anthony Webby in on the tackle. That's going to bring up 4th and about 4.
Just a tough night all the way around for the Midfield Patriots. Their offense just anemic at this point with the exception of one long pass play.
All right, Johnny Lamoro back to punt. We send Andrew Jeske deep. Michael will drop back in a single reception position. Scott Hazelden in the game for the Patriots now. Big rush by Sabry, but he gets it underway. Michael's going to just watch it bounce. Lamoro gets a good midfield roll that time, and it's down at the Homewood 29. So we'll go into business at that point, and we'll see who our quarterback will be. Looks like it's going to be Reggie Lias. Lias wearing number 10. Lias is a sophomore. And that's the end of the third quarter. So we're going to pause for a minute. They'll lower the colors, and that'll take just a few minutes, and that'll give us an opportunity to hear from one of our sponsors. Hey, if you haven't heard the score lately, it's 50-7. Homewood up outstandingly over Midfield in the Battle of the Patriots. We'll pause for a second and be right back. You're watching Homewood Patriot Football.
It's Piggly Wiggly food stores for quality foods, friendly service, and fair prices. You'll find a wide selection of the freshest seasonal produce brought in daily, and the finest heavy Western USDA choice beef, and of course, plump, fresh-cut chickens never frozen. And Piggly Wiggly serves hot, fresh deli foods of the finest quality served up daily. The next best thing to home cooking. And Piggly Wiggly food stores are part of our friendly people, serving your needs in Mountain Brook, Homewood. It's Piggly Wiggly, the finest food stores around.
Back to action. You know, Barry, it's starting the fourth quarter with this much water on this field. It's really taking a beating, and hopefully the coach in charge of putting the field back together, Rip Harmon, will be able to do just that, because up until tonight it was just like a carpet.
It absolutely was just like a carpet, and I don't know when I've heard a better segue into a commercial spot. You talk about carpets. You want to know carpets, Fred? I'm going to tell you about carpets. But I've taken so long to get to it that I don't have time right now. So you folks keep that thought in mind. Keep carpets in the back of your mind. And as we get to the next pause point, I'm going to tell you a little bit about carpets. Here's Homewood with mostly a sophomore and junior look. Reggie Lias is the quarterback. The give is to the second man through, the tailback, and that's Martell Smith. Smith, the sophomore, playing in the tailback position. He plays both ways. No, seriously, we kid. One of our sponsors this year has been Covington Flooring Company, and they are a winning team just like the Homewood Patriots are a winning team because they put a lot of hard work into what they do and determination, and they pay attention to basic fundamentals. They've got a winning tradition at Covington Flooring. And if you're planning a new office or maybe you're just remodeling existing space, you ought to give them a call. We'll give you their number in just a minute and tell you a little bit more about them. Here's Lias on second down and short. The give again to Martell Smith. I think he's got first down yardage. The stop by Dietrich Alexander. If you are planning new office space or perhaps you're just remodeling some existing space, why don't you give Covington Flooring Company a call. The number in Birmingham is 328-2330. And if you're calling outside Birmingham, why, of course, they have a toll-free number for you, 1-800-824-1229. A winning team, hard work and determination, attention to fundamentals. That's Covington Flooring, and we're proud to have them as one of our sponsors here for Homewood Patriot Football. And thank you, Fred Morris, for that lead-in. I hope that Rip Harmon does get the field back in shape. It's taken a beating tonight.
It sure has, but it has been in great shape throughout the season, which is saying something, because these high school fields, you can see just a little bit of wear and tear at the center of the field on the crown, but this field in great shape. Coach Harmon putting in a lot of time and effort to keep it just that way, and that could pay dividends down the road as we start playing some playoff games right here at Robert Waltrip Stadium.
Darian Finley with the carry that time, finally stopped by Dietrich Alexander of midfield. Ball now resting on the Homewood 45-yard line. Call it second and about 4, a long 4. Reggie Elias is your quarterback. He'll give to Martell Smith, the tailback. Martell grabbed at the ankle as he crossed the line of scrimmage, so give him maybe a gain of a yard, but not much more than that. Looking on the bench at one of our injured players. We'll have to see who that is.
Difficult to tell. Looks as though his pads may already be on. Working on a...
Don't know who that might be, but we'll see if we can determine who it is. It may be Starks. I'm not sure. We'll just have to see. It's hard to see because his jersey's off. Here's now 3rd down and 4 for the Patriots. Elias on the give. Right up the middle. Good second effort by Tommy Elias as Reggie gives to his brother. But the mark is going to come up a little bit short, so we'll look at 4th and about 1.
So far tonight, Homewood successful on all of their 4th down conversions. Looks as well, right now, Coach Gann may be changing his mind as he sends in number 4, Kevin Miller. And looks as though he's sending in the punt team. And at 50-7 may just be the gentlemanly thing to do. You see Reggie Elias talking to Coach Offensive Coordinator Bob Newton about that last series of plays. Essentially, the middle school and the 9th grade team all run the same basic offense and defense, so by the time they hit the high school squad, the varsity squad, they're well coached and also well versed in what's expected of them. It's just a matter of practice and execution.
Kevin Miller to kick. He'll kick from his own 38-yard line. A good punt. It'll come down at about the 18-yard line. Anthony Baldwin struggles his way up to the 29-yard line. Good kick coverage, though, and a good punt by Kevin Miller. Yes, it's been pointed out that on a brisk night on the sidelines, Coach Mike Corson has put long pants on. That's how cold it is, folks. That's how cold it is. Coach never wears long pants at a game, and it's a bit brisk out there tonight. Hey, give Kevin Miller a 34-yard punt that time. A good punt by the sophomore kicking specialist.
Good coverage that time by Eric Riegels in for that coverage team also.
All right, the pitch back to Baldwin. Baldwin struggles at the 30-31, still on his feet, across the 35, dragged down from behind by Michael Andrzejewski. Thank goodness Michael got a hand on his ankle, or he was going for long yardage.
Anthony Baldwin continuing to run hard in spite of the 50-7 score. This midfield team still playing with some pride, trying to get something going offensively. J.J. Hardy and Anthony Baldwin playing hard in the backfield, and their line still coming out, playing hard in spite of the score.
Give him 9 yards on the carry that time. 38-yard line is the line of scrimmage for midfield. They look at 2nd and about 1, and they'll get it. They're stopped by Gerard and Cowan. But that is first down yardage, and one of few that they've had tonight. Midfield struggling. The clock is moving now. 7:03 remaining in this football game. A lot of folks heading out early. I believe that's the first down for midfield of the second half. Hardy backs up, wants to keep on his own, tries to find a slot, and does. Still on his feet at the 47-yard line. Hard running by J.J. Hardy. Finally brought down by Scott Hazelden and Darian Finley.
These guys playing hard. This defense in now. Scott Hazelden, Darian Finley, the rest of the guys. Number 50 in for Homewood. That's Mark Scholl playing hard and getting the experience we talked about before, because a lot of these guys will be first-line players come next year.
You better believe it. We lose a lot of seniors at the end of this one. So this is an excellent opportunity for the coaches to get some experience on those sophomores and juniors. Here's the pitch back to Baldwin. Baldwin still moving out of bounds at about the 50-yard line. They say his knee touched down before he went out of bounds at about the 51. So they'll keep the clock moving, and it rolls with 6 minutes left. Finally run out of bounds there by Reuben Nelson, number 21, a defensive back. Oh, I'm sorry. He was telling me that it was Tamer Sabry with the ball. No, he was telling me it was Nelson. Tabor Sabry ran him out of bounds. That's what it was. Thank you. Need to give credit to our spotters who work with us in the booth tonight. Might mention that Letcher Mitchell is with us for the first time tonight, and we appreciate that. And Larry Wygand is off in a tree stand somewhere getting ready for deer season tomorrow morning, and I really envy him being out in this weather. Mike Whitten is also with us and has been here all season long faithfully. And Danny Callies, we had a shot of Danny on the sidelines just a few minutes ago. Danny came into the booth at halftime and his fingers were so cold they could just barely hold the pencil. But he does a good job holding the pencil for us. He's our statistician.
Also, Barry, let's look at, talk about 4 guys that are out there in this weather also volunteering for this game. You see a short game there, which might be a first down. Oh, check that. Short game.
Bring up 3rd and long. Very, very short.
They're guys that have been with us all season long in these home games, and that's the chain gang.
Oh, absolutely.
All the guys doing the tough job out there, tromping around in the mud tonight, wind and weather.
Billy Farrell, Joe Osborne, Carson Thompson, and Joey Maxwell. They are all out there and faithful to support the Patriots on the chain gang. And let me tell you, that's a tough job tonight.
And with the type of offense Homewood's had this year, they have been 4 very busy guys.
Big defensive play by Eric Atkins, I believe. I read number 84. Eric Atkins playing at a defensive tackle position. He's a junior. And a big drags the midfield player down from behind. Good penetration on that from the right side of that defensive line.
They're out of the same mold as the front line players. Very quick, not a lot of size on any of them. I believe Kip Count would be one of the largest, also number 78 in on defense. Preston Wallace, one of your bigger guys, but they are all very quick. You see a timeout there.
Well, the timeout on the field gives us a pause, too, to take a commercial message. So we'll remind you, we've got about 4 minutes left in the 4th quarter of this game. Homewood's playing Midfield, and right now the score is Homewood 50. Homewood 50, I say again, and Midfield 7. We'll be back after this from one of our sponsors, and we remind you you're watching Homewood Patriot Football.
Dear Central Bank.
Oh, writing a bank.
Yeah.
They messed up the checking account?
No.
Had to wait in line?
No.
Rude tellers?
No, never. Rude husband.
Me?
I'm thanking them for all the trouble they went to and all the extra work they did so we could close the loan on this house.
That's their job.
In 2 weeks.
Oh, 2 weeks.
They've had their difficulties with the signals and with offense in general. The Midfield Patriots, make sure that's clear. The Midfield Patriots having a little success tonight on offense as opposed to Homewood, 50 points worth of offense tonight.
Also in the game for Homewood, Kevin Harris wears number 5, jersey number 5, playing at a defensive end position. Here's the give to Baldwin. Baldwin just straight ahead off right tackle to about the 37-yard line. Stopped by who's wearing 63 for us? I don't see a 63. Yeah, it was the jersey that Hammaker wore earlier in the season, but I don't have a 63 on my roster. Check it again. Nope, sure don't. We'll have to find out who that might be. Here's J.J. Hardy, who looks at 2nd and 11 now. Gives to Baldwin, maybe across the 35 to about the 34. You know, the midfield offense, with the steady reliance on Baldwin, is just so predictable.
It sure is. Running up the middle, they ran up the middle in the first quarter. They tried it in the second, and only what you would have to call a freak play after Homewood called a timeout to set their defense with 37 seconds to go in the half. Midfield comes back and hits a shot in the dark and goes 61 yards for a touchdown on a pass. Since then, it's been zero output for Midfield.
And that their only score for the night. On 3rd and long, J.J. Hardy on the pitch back. Ron Johnson, the ball carrier. We had him listed at a cornerback position only, playing only defense, but Johnson, the ball carrier. I guess as Midfield wants to give some of its younger players a chance to play as well. But a reminder that this is the last regular season home game here at Waldrop Stadium, and on Friday night we'll play John Carroll at Carroll Field out on Montclair Road. However, we remain hopeful without without knocking on wood too much, that there will be future games here as we enter the playoff round. We're confident that we'll be back here at Waldrop Stadium.
That's right. We never really know where just like we have a fumble on the play, the ball's still loose.
Johnson was the ball carrier, but he's not the one who came up with it. It looks like Midfield retained possession.
I believe they did, and they've marked the ball right on the 15-yard line. So the recovery actually gained them 4 yards. So I was saying, with the playoffs starting, we're not sure right up until the week before the first game who will actually be playing. There's some talk about it might be Irwin again. It could be a different team. And I guess the same is true with the home field advantage. We're not sure at what point we'll be playing at home and when we'll have to go on the road.
Excellent.
Big play.
Excellent defensive play by Corky Alexander. Corky, number 14 for Homewood, sometimes lines up in a quarterback position, but this time playing on the corner. And Corky just came along and met the midfield runner head-on in his own backfield for a loss of about 4. A loss of 5 make it. Excellent, excellent defensive play. Wrapped him up, locked his arms, and the play was over there. So the line of scrimmage now back to the 20 as the clock runs down here in this fourth quarter. Less than 30 seconds now, or right at 30 seconds now. They've kept J.J. Hardy, their quarterback, in, and he'll pass complete over the middle at the 10-yard line. And Midfield scores with 20 at the end of the game and at the end of the first half, where their quick strike scores. The
number 2, Jake Barrett.
The score by the pass from J.J. Hardy to Jake Barrett. Barrett just came right out of the backfield, just like before the first half.
You've got to watch these guys with less than a minute to go in the half in the game. They are very dangerous.
They've got to be a threat with less than a minute to go. All right, Lamoro will try the extra point. We don't mean to make light of their effort. They've played a good, hard game tonight. It's just they're outclassed by a superior Homewood team. Midfield's a very young team, not a very big team. Lamoro's kick is good, so Midfield amasses 14 points finally against the Homewood Patriots. Time is out on the field. 23 seconds remaining is all that's left in this game, and Homewood with a 50-14 lead. A lot of chance again for our young guys to get some good experience.
It sure is. It's also a good opportunity for those of you watching this replay to get a good look at this Homewood team as they get ready to go into the playoffs with one regular season game to go against John Carroll. The odds are very good at this point. They'll go in with a perfect regular season, and the playoffs are a single elimination tournament. You lose, you go home, and it seems as though right now Homewood is starting to peak as an entire team. Their special teams, offensively, defensively, everything hitting on all cylinders, which is just the way Coach Gerald Gann and his coaching staff wanted it to work.
We were looking a moment ago at Wes Steed. He, of course, along with the other starters who are mostly seniors, will be key in those playoffs. Where I'm convinced they'll get tested like they have not been tested so far this year.
They sure will. There are quite a few very good 5A teams in this area. Pell City, Etowah, Gadsden, also just a multitude of very good 5A teams as we see Midfield with the onside kick.
Taken in, though, very effectively by Homewood. Looks like number 80, and that's Anthony Webby, who simply picks up the ball and falls on it. And Homewood now with excellent field position, although it's going to be a moot point because as soon as they start the clock again, we'll only have 20 seconds remaining, and it is now running. We might get in one play, but I doubt it. Invite you to join us next week at this same time, whatever station you're watching. We'll be back next week with a rebroadcast of the John Carroll game. The clock's counting down, 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1. It'll run out, and that's going to be the end of this one. A good, hard-fought contest as Homewood comes out very successfully over Midfield. Your final score, 50-14. We're going to be back in just a minute to set a playoff scene for you, but we'll pause right now and let you hear from one of our sponsors.